The year is 2025. We are living in a world increasingly defined by extreme weather. These disasters are not isolated incidents. They are a glimpse into a future shaped by climate change. The Earth's climate is changing at an alarming rate. Human activities release greenhouse gases, trapping heat. This warming impacts the Earth's climate system. The water cycle is intensifying, leading to extreme weather. More intense rainfall causes devastating floods. Severe droughts create ideal conditions for wildfires. Scientists have warned about this for decades. Now we are witnessing the consequences firsthand. The question is what we can do to mitigate its effects. The answer lies in both individual and collective action. We must reduce our carbon footprint and promote sustainability. The future of our planet depends on it. The future of our planet and our own survival depends on it. At the heart of these intensifying disasters is the Earth's water cycle. This natural process, driven by solar energy, is responsible for the distribution of water across our planet. As the Earth's temperature rises due to climate change, the water cycle is accelerating, becoming supercharged with energy. This has dramatic consequences for the balance of our planet's climate. Warmer temperatures mean more water evaporates from the Earth's surface, particularly from oceans and lakes. This increased evaporation leads to a greater concentration of water vapor in the atmosphere. Water vapor is a potent greenhouse gas, trapping even more heat and further amplifying the warming effect. This creates a dangerous feedback loop, where rising temperatures lead to more evaporation, which in turn leads to even higher temperatures. This excess moisture in the atmosphere has to go somewhere. It eventually falls back to Earth as precipitation, often in more intense bursts than before. This is why we are seeing an increase in heavy rainfall events, leading to more frequent and severe flooding in many parts of the world. The intensification of the water cycle is not just about more rainfall, it's also about its distribution. Some regions are experiencing more frequent and intense droughts. In recent years, we've witnessed a surge in catastrophic flooding events across the globe. From coastal cities to inland communities, the devastating power of water is on full display. These floods are exacerbated by climate change. Global temperature rise disrupts weather patterns, leading to intense rainfall. Unprecedented flooding ravaged Europe and China in 2024. Torrential downpours overwhelmed rivers, causing widespread destruction. These floods remind us of the interconnectedness of our planet's systems. The human toll is immense. Homes are destroyed and communities face long-term impacts. Floods also cause waterborne diseases and damage infrastructure. We need urgent adaptation measures to mitigate these risks. On the other side of the spectrum, but equally devastating, are the wildfires that have been raging with unprecedented ferocity and scale. Climate change is creating ideal conditions for these infernos to ignite and spread with terrifying speed. The hotter temperatures are baking the land, drying out vegetation and turning forests into tinderboxes, ready to erupt at the slightest spark. The consequences are catastrophic, leaving behind scorched earth, polluted air, and the loss of precious ecosystems. The 2023 wildfires that swept across Australia and the Amazon rainforest are stark examples of this terrifying trend. These fires, fueled by prolonged droughts and record-breaking temperatures, burned for months, releasing massive amounts of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere and further exacerbating climate change. The scale of these fires was unprecedented, underscoring the profound impact of climate change on the planet's ecosystems. Wildfires are not only devastating to the environment, but they also pose significant risks to human health and safety. Smoke from wildfires contains harmful pollutants that can travel long distances, affecting air quality and causing respiratory problems. The loss of forests also has far-reaching consequences, as forests play a crucial role in regulating the climate, absorbing carbon dioxide and providing habitats for countless species. Protecting our forests and reducing greenhouse gas emissions are essential steps in addressing the growing threat of wildfires. Section 5. Hurricanes fueled by a warming sea. The warming oceans are not only impacting rainfall patterns, but also fueling more intense hurricanes. Hurricanes draw their energy from the heat of the ocean surface, As ocean temperatures rise, hurricanes can become more powerful, with higher wind speeds and heavier rainfall. The link between climate change and hurricane intensity is becoming increasingly clear, with recent years witnessing some of the most destructive hurricanes on record. Hurricane Otis, which slammed into Mexico in 2023, serves as a chilling example. This rapidly intensifying storm, fueled by unusually warm waters in the Pacific Ocean, made landfall as a Category 5 hurricane, causing widespread destruction and loss of life. The storm's rapid intensification, a phenomenon linked to climate change, left coastal communities with little time to prepare for its devastating impact. The increasing intensity of hurricanes poses significant threats to coastal communities worldwide. The combination of higher storm surges, heavier rainfall, and more powerful winds can lead to catastrophic flooding, infrastructure damage, and displacement of communities. As sea levels continue to rise due to climate change, the risks posed by hurricanes are further amplified. Investing in resilient infrastructure, improving early warning systems, and reducing greenhouse gas emissions are crucial steps in mitigating the devastating impacts of these powerful storms. Section 6. The human hand making a bad situation worse. While climate change is the primary driver of these intensifying disasters, human activities are often exacerbating the problem. Deforestation, for example, is removing trees that absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, further contributing to the greenhouse effect. This removal of trees also disrupts local water cycles, often leading to drier conditions and increasing the risk of wildfires. Urbanization is another contributing factor. As cities expand, they often replace natural landscapes with concrete and asphalt. These surfaces absorb and retain heat, creating urban heat islands that can intensify heat waves. The lack of vegetation in urban areas also means less water is absorbed into the ground, increasing runoff and the risk of flooding during heavy rain. Our reliance on fossil fuels for energy is at the heart of the problem. Burning coal, oil, and gas releases massive amounts of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, trapping heat and driving climate change. Transitioning to cleaner and renewable energy sources is crucial for reducing our carbon footprint and mitigating the impacts of climate change. Section 7. Facing the future. Adaptation in a changing world. As the impacts of climate change become more apparent and severe, it is clear that we can no longer afford to ignore this global crisis. We must act decisively and collectively to address the root causes of climate change and adapt to the changes that are already underway. Adaptation involves adjusting to the actual or expected effects of climate change, while mitigation focuses on reducing greenhouse gas emissions to limit the extent of future warming. Adaptation measures can take many forms, from building seawalls to protect coastal communities from rising sea levels to developing drought-resistant crops to ensure food security in a changing climate. Investing in early warning systems for extreme weather events can save lives and reduce economic losses. In urban areas, green infrastructure such as parks and green roofs can help mitigate the urban heat island effect and reduce the risk of flooding. Addressing climate change requires a multifaceted approach that involves governments, businesses, and individuals working together to reduce emissions and build resilience. International cooperation is essential as the impacts of climate change transcend national boundaries. By taking action now, we can create a more sustainable and resilient future for generations to come. Section 8. Turning the tide actions for a cooler tomorrow. The task ahead may seem daunting, but there is still hope. We have the knowledge and the tools to address climate change and build a more sustainable future. The key lies in transitioning to a low-carbon economy by reducing our reliance on fossil fuels and embracing renewable energy sources like solar, wind, and hydropower. Governments, businesses, and individuals all have a role to play in this transition. Governments can implement policies that incentivize renewable energy production, promote energy efficiency, and invest in sustainable infrastructure. Businesses can reduce their carbon footprint by adopting cleaner technologies, investing in renewable energy, and supporting policies that promote sustainability. Individuals can make conscious choices to reduce their environmental impact by adopting energy-saving practices at home, using public transportation or electric vehicles, and supporting businesses that prioritize sustainability. Beyond these individual actions, it is crucial to advocate for systemic change by supporting policies that address climate change, such as carbon pricing mechanisms, renewable energy standards, and investments in climate adaptation and resilience. By working together and demanding action from our leaders, we can create a future where our planet and its people can thrive. Section 9. Our choice: a future of disasters or a path to sustainability. The increasing frequency and intensity of natural disasters serve as a stark reminder of the urgent need for climate action. We stand at a crossroads facing a choice between a future ravaged by climate change and a path toward a more sustainable and resilient world. The path we choose today will determine the fate of our planet for generations to come. By embracing the challenge of climate change and working together to reduce our impact on the planet, we can create a future where natural disasters are less frequent and severe, and where humanity can thrive in harmony with the natural world. The time for action is now. Our future depends on it.